Welcome to your source for research, innovation, news, insights, and commentary. Research Business Daily Report, sponsored today and all this week by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities, enabling you to make confident business decisions. Before we hear more from Dave and Jamie Power, I have to pass along one of the cleanest, clearest, most concise definitions for big data that I have yet to see. And as you can imagine, I have to read a lot about big data every single week. This comes from Oracle VP of Manufacturing Industry Solutions, Sanat Joshi, writing about big data for Intech. Here's the quote. Data becomes big data, or rather a big data problem, when the volume, velocity, and/or variety of the data exceed the abilities of your current IT systems to ingest, store, analyze, or otherwise process it. End of quote. The author again is Sanat Joshi. The article is Big Data, and you'll find it on the web at Intech. Check out Google or Bing to find this particular story. It's well worth your time. On to part two of our conversation with J.D. Power III and his son Jamie about J.D. Power and Associates, its history, its legacy, and more. Are there other things that you are particularly proud of having helped the industry develop that have become standards within market research?
Well, we do a number of different things where we're using the information. We had the Power Information Network, which handled transaction data and gave information on the actual pricing of the vehicles by the dealers. The media study is another one.
Well, it helped the auto industry get better information, better data to use in their media planning and media buying of magazines and print. Mm-hmm. And up to that point, the auto industry, which was in fact the biggest media category, had to use extrapolated data from other well-known magazine readership studies. And what J.D. Power and Associates did is reverse the model and actually went out and surveyed people who had recently purchased a new vehicle and asked them what magazines and newspapers they read on a regular basis, and created a new standard by which the auto industry was able to plan and make their magazine readership buys.
But it really became central to the success of the company, didn't it?
Yes. For consumer survey research, I think we introduced that part of it. And I think the ownership of the data wasn't really our intention to start doing these surveys to own the data, but we found out that it was very helpful to own the data because our analysis would not be influenced by a client company.
What do you think is the legacy of J.D. Power?
I think the legacy of J.D. Power and Associates is bringing the voice of the customer to the boardroom and into the organizations around the world, and not just customer satisfaction, but quality and the whole concept of using information and data to make better business decisions.
And if you go back to the time when J.D. Power was actually being created, that was not foremost in the minds, particularly of American car manufacturers, was it?
Oh, that's definitely true. And in fact, one of the hallmarks or a symbol of this whole idea of listening to the voice of the customer is in the form of a proclamation that President John F. Kennedy had to Congress about the consumer, effectively the Consumer Bill of Rights. And one of the key points in that is the consumer has the right to be heard. And, so that was, say, issued in, the early 1960s. And, the whole concept and the turmoil that was happening in the 1960s, the late 60s, the rise of a consumer market versus a industrial producer-driven market, really, was all part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if J.D. Power and Associates necessarily, you can't say that it caused it, but I think it helped facilitate the evolution of our market to really listen to the customer.
You do watch Mad Men, and I'd like you to relate to the rest of us how accurate that TV show is.
It's absolutely accurate. It's uncanny.
Their book is called Power, How J.D. Power III Became the Auto Industry's Advisor, Confessor, and Eyewitness to History. It's going to be published September 10th, so we're a ways off. But you can pre-order it on Amazon for a little over $16, and of course you can get it through other book providers. Now, I'm fascinated with the history of our industry, and so when I took the book and read through it, I really couldn't put it down. So I can also highly recommend it. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities, enabling you to make confident business decisions. There's a link underneath this video that will take you to Socratic's homepage, and that will open you up to a world of unique capabilities and quality. Check it out. Have a great research day, and plan on joining us again tomorrow.